Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynic Alex, and with New Year's just around the corner for people in North America and parts of South America, and for New Year's already having occurred for people in parts of Europe and Asia, Happy New Year, Happy 2020. Hopefully this year, or the next year that's coming very, very soon, will hold more luck and better benefits and opportunities and advancements for you than last year did. And with that being said, I think now is the perfect time for some low effort end of the year content. So I'm going to be bringing you my wish list for 2020. We did one of these last year, and I thought about covering what came true and what didn't come true from my last year's wish list. Maybe I'll do that in another video if you guys want that. But for now, I think it's more important and more interesting to, rather than looking on the last year and just commenting on what went wrong and what went right, looking forward to the future and really highlighting what needs to come for the next year of Marvel Future Fight to really push this game to the next level. Because frankly, 2019 was a good year. It might have been one of the best years, if not the best year, for Marvel Future Fight in terms of not only downloads and the player base growing, but also, revenue from the marketing perspective, but also the quality of the game has improved dramatically. So I want to give you my wish list, starting off with the most important thing. So the number one wish that I have for Marvel Future Fight in 2020 is game modes. I know, what a surprise. And surprisingly, 2019 was the best year in Marvel Future Fight history for game modes, both new and reworked, which is a shock to say and to hear coming out of my mouth, but it's true. More than any other year, we saw brand new game modes like World Event, Galactus Giant Boss Raid, and Danger Room. 2.5 brand new game modes. You might call Galactus Giant Boss Raid a brand new game mode because it's such a different fight compared to Master Mold. And then they also introduced Shadowland Plus. Now, again, it's not really a full new game mode. It's kind of like a rework of an existing game mode, so I count it as like a 0.5. So if you count Galactus as 0.5, you count Shadowland as 0.5, and then Danger Room and World Event, that's 3 new game modes on top of getting rid of daily missions, special missions, and dimension rifts for dimension missions. So technically 4 new game modes in Marvel Future Fight in a single year. That's pretty insane. If 2020 has 4 new game modes, even if they're all reworks, I would love that. Like if they rework Timeline Battle, and then Alliance Battle, and then Alliance Conquest, and then World Boss Invasion or something like that, or Story Mode. If those were the 4 reworks for 2020, chef's kiss all day long. That would be amazing. And it definitely needs to happen. We need to see at least as much new game mode content this year as we did last year. If we see less new game mode content in terms of reworking old content and also making new content, then 2020 is going to be a worse year right off the bat, because with a game this old, with a game of this size, adding new characters is not as important as keeping your existing player base happy and keeping them introducing new players to the game by saying, hey, check out this great new content that they introduced. Look how fun this fight is. I bet there's probably still a lot of players that were introduced to Marvel Future Fight by watching someone in a YouTube video, or watching me on a stream or someone else on a stream playing Galactus. Man, like, whoa, what is that? You're Silver Surfer and you're actually fighting Galactus? That's a really cool game. I don't see that anywhere else in any other Marvel game. Let me go download that game. So I think more than anything, new game modes have to be in the forefront of the devs' minds moving forward into 2020. I like saying that, 2020. It's got a nice ring to it. Number 2, the second most important thing, and this one, unlike game modes, I think Marvel Future Fight did not do such a good job of in 2019, and I think it is character reworks. Now, we've come to accept in Marvel Future Fight that character reworks don't happen at the base level for most characters, and of the 11 characters that I'm going to list, or 12 characters, only one of them got a base level rework, and that of course was Vision. Every other character only got a rework via a uniform. So you have to pony up the crystals. In Gwenpool's case, you got to pony up real money to get a rework for a character. And we've accepted that in Marvel Future Fight. But what I don't accept is that there were almost as many updates as character reworks. And you could say that certain uniforms, like Wolverine's new uniform or Sabretooth's new uniform, you could say that those were reworks. But I'm talking like a massive rework, like changing the character in a huge way. Sabretooth is kind of on the fringe, even though it was only a 1 skill change. But you know what I mean when I talk about a massive rework. When I talk about characters like Captain Marvel, Hawkeye, when I talk about characters like Rogue, when I talk about characters like Cyclops or Iron Man, these characters were changed in fundamental ways, and they were made great by their latest uniforms in 2019. And actually, they got Iron Man wrong the first time. It took them 2 tries to do Iron Man, but the fact remains that they did less. They reworked, even if you count all of those, even if you throw in, you count Jean Grey, you throw in Sabretooth and stuff like that, even if you count all those characters, they did maybe 15 character reworks in 1 year. Maybe. So that includes the one that they asked us to vote on. 15 character reworks in a year where you're introducing more than 15 new characters, in a year where some of the characters you're introducing might already need reworks because they're already kind of outdated. That's way too low. I honestly, when I was originally making my notes for this video, I was like, you know what? I think that Marvel Future Fight, I was like, the game modes were good, and I think the reworks were good. And then I went back and I counted, and I was like, guys, you didn't rework enough characters. Like, this number literally has to be double. You have to be, like, if we're ever going to catch up in Marvel Future Fight, you guys can't do this. You can't be releasing 3 characters per update and have 10 updates a year, which is 30 characters. You can't be releasing 30 new characters a year and only reworking half as many. You're only reworking half as many old characters as the new characters you're introducing. That's only 45 characters a year. That's I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really not good enough. It's really not good enough. If you have to upgrade the prices of uniforms again, I don't really care at this point. We really want the character reworks. It's getting to the point where please don't sell more uniforms for real money. Please don't misinterpret what I'm saying. Okay, we want like 1 or 2 Gwenpool uniforms a year at most, no more. But what I'm trying to say is, like, we're desperate at this point. I don't really know what to say. You're like, it's 4.5 characters per update that are getting either introduced to the game as a new character, or they're getting reworked with a new uniform. And some of them are already being introduced terrible. Wave is terrible. At best, she is a support character. At best. You introduced a character in mid-2019 who is slightly better than Valkyrie. That is not a good thing, guys. This character is 2 years older than Wave. How did you guys only make her incrementally better 2 years later? It's just unacceptable. So the fact that you guys are not even introducing every new character strong enough just re-emphasizes the fact that you have to rework more characters. You should be reworking at least 6 characters, 5 or 6 characters every update if we're going to catch up. That's only 50 characters a year, guys. 50 character reworks a year is honestly not that much to ask for, because you're not giving us the reworks for free to begin with. We have to pay 1,000 crystals for every single rework. So you rework 50 characters, that's 50,000 more crystals that players need to get. And yeah, you might say that there's like the law of oversaturation. If you give us too many rogue uniforms, we might not value them and cherish them as much as we do. Like, we really celebrate these uniforms now. Like, we had a whole month of celebrating this guy. We had a whole month last year, or 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, celebrating this guy. I get that. Okay, so, you tried it the old way. You tried giving us these uniforms really slowly, like 2 per year, 3 per year. Why don't we try it my way? Why don't we just rework more characters, damn it. That's all we're asking for. Finally, the last 2 things that I really want to see in 2020. The first one is quality of life changes. And these are only really things that existing players are going to understand, so brand new players might not see the value in some of these things, but inventory space is a biggie. And I think the inventory space definitely needs to be expanded in 2020 somehow. Even if you're selling something for $1 that expands your inventory by 100 or 200, just a one-time thing, like for the 5-year anniversary, just like a token of good faith to the player base. I think that would go a long way to making players happy and to actually making the game less of a chore and more enjoyable. So the inventory space definitely needs to be addressed. Also, stacking X-Men materials over the cap so that we stop getting that stupid, annoying pop-up. Oh, you can't open this box. You're at the cap. Do you want to go to your inventory? No. I'm trying to play a mobile game, not an inventory simulator. If I wanted to play an inventory simulator, I would play Diablo 2 or something. I don't know what. Just choose a game with lots of inventory simulation. Okay. I also think they should add the quality of life change to have items that are expiring sorted by their expiry. So you see here we have 3 days, 5 days, 23 hours. That's really confusing for players. You should have a function that you can click a button or it does it automatically to sort these things so that the things that are expiring first will go to the top so that you can see that they're expiring so that you don't forget to collect them. That should be a thing 5 years into this game. Another thing that I think they should add, because the game mode is really frustrating without it, it's a ton of inventory simulation. World event. The rewards that you get from world event should automatically be applied to your account. So if you get agent levels or agent badges, whatever these things are, they should automatically be used, these agent kits. And your agent tokens should be automatically collected into your inventory. You shouldn't have to go in and collect them yourselves. It's already tedious enough as it is. Take some of the tedium out and just automatically collect it for us in this game mode like you do with other game modes. With World Boss, you don't make us collect the CCF and the other materials. They go directly into our inventory. Every game mode should have the rewards go directly into your inventory unless it has a box that you have to open for a random prize. So the random agent kit boxes, obviously those ones won't go directly into your inventory. They'll go into your inbox. But the regular agent kits should just immediately go. The agent tokens should just immediately go. The last thing that needs to be fixed for quality of life is the character sorting. The character sorting is all kinds of fucked up. Right now it's sorted by when the character was introduced to Marvel Future Fight. This is an absolutely garbage sorting system. And it also highlights how few of these characters, like Ghost Rider's apparently the #1 character, the first character introduced to the game. Guess what? The first 3 characters are garbage. So yeah, big time fixes needed on the end of character organization and sorting, and it should be the same. The character sorting should be consistent throughout the game in all game modes. And then last but not least, this one's a biggie, but this one is often overlooked. The developers, the Marvel Future Fight devs, hey, I'm talking to you. You guys need to answer some of the burning community questions. Myself and other people, I know RJ from the Reddit, he's one of the mods there. He's reached out to you guys. We're trying to get answers on topics that are literally worth thousands of dollars. Topics about CTPs, topics about how certain items and certain skills interact in game modes. We need these answers answered once and for all. We don't need them answered by a customer service agent who's going to give 5 different answers because you're talking to 5 different people, and then everybody posts their screenshots, and then people get confused, and then there's a bunch of misinformation. We need to know, does a CTP of destruction overwrite, or does it stack with native accumulation? Or sorry, native penetration. So if you have a character that has penetration like Quicksilver, and if he has a CTP of destruction, does the 30% chance to penetrate on the CTP of destruction, does that stack with his unstoppable momentum? Does it go up to 100%? Or does it only use one or the other? Or does it use neither? What happens when you have that interaction? Similarly, what happens when you have the interaction of a character who has accumulation on one of their skills and they have a CTP of authority? Does the accumulation stack? Does the accumulation overwrite? Do they negate each other? Does it ignore one for the other? We don't know. We need to know, because it could make these CTPs a lot more valuable, and it could make you a lot more money because people might want them more if they know exactly how they work. Similarly, why is the CTP of Judgment so shitty? Did you guys want it to be this shitty? Or is something wrong with the CTP? Is it broken, or is it just shitty? We need to know. Another thing that we need to know, and again, this would influence players spending money on the game. How does all defense down work in World Boss Ultimate? Is it the first come or first hit, first stack system, where the first character that applies all defense down sets the maximum, and then all other characters will apply a percentage of their attack to that maximum? Or do they all stack individually? How does it work? We need a definitive answer from the devs. And then finally, the last definitive answer we need from the devs is, how can we improve our RNG when we gamble? So yeah, that being said, those are my 4 big wish list items for 2020. That's what I want to see in Marvel Future Fight. Hit me up in the comments down below. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Discord. Let me know what your wish list is for Marvel Future Fight and what you think of mine. Happy New Year. Hopefully you're all blessed with health and prosperity for the coming year. Sorry to sound corny. Thank you so much for watching all the videos, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.